Inkmage here, and today I'm excited to share with you something cool because everybody loves dragons. Well, particularly if you play the world's greatest role-playing game, my favorite game. So we're going to take a look at WizKids Games, Fizban's Treasury of Dragons. Let's take an initial pass at the minis before I move into a closer-up look. Let's start here with Fizban himself. Now, this is a really cool wizard mini. Look at, he's got the canary, golden canary. If you are familiar with Dragonlance and Dragonlance Chronicles, that's probably my 3 favorite books. I love them so much. Then you're probably familiar with Fizban. Now, this is a new take on Fizban, how he looks. This is the 5e rendering of Fizban. I prefer the classic look, but I would use this mini. This is a really incredible mini. What a great NPC, or maybe you'd like to play a character who is a little older. This is a very expressive character. Look at, he's got a great expression, that massive mustache, and colorful robes adorned with decoration on the bottom. So while this may not be my example of what I imagine when I think of Fizban, it very well may be how a lot of new people who are new to the game and new to the saga think about him. But either way, I still think it's a really great mini. So let's put Fizban back and let's move over to a guard drake. You can't have too many of these. These are really great miniatures to have. Guarding lairs, or maybe in a Dragonborn society, it's a Dragonborn's pet. Look at the plating, the fierce face. It's always good to have more of these, in my opinion. So this must be a specific type of monster because it says Dragon Chosen. I haven't looked through my Fizbans a whole lot yet, so I just kind of did a brief pass through, but this looks to me like a Durgar. But why couldn't Durgar serve a dragon of some sort? They certainly could. She's resting comfortably with a sword over her shoulder, axe in hand, ready to hew necks at her Dragon Lord's command. This one's interesting. You could see the mind power coming off, and it's floating a dagger in the air. And actually, it's elevating itself just off the ground. It's like David Blaine. So if you want to play a Dragonborn Psionicist, or run one as an NPC, this is a great mini, and we haven't seen anything like it yet. Possibly my favorite mini in the marketing preview box that I was sent by WizKids is this Dragonborn drinking. Look at its expression. It's really quite good. An Emerald Dragonborn. And if you wanted to play a rogue Dragonborn, this one would be pretty great to use. In fact, though, if I were doing it, charisma would definitely be the highest stat. You can just see from the mini, he's got a lot of charisma. Look at, he's all standing there swaggering, challenging anybody to best him to a drinking contest. And his hand placed on his dagger, ready in case he doesn't like the results. Here we have a Dragonborn of Tiamat. Not sure why they went with like the frosty theme, but they did. I like the confident stance this mini has. I don't like running evil campaigns. It just never ends well. It's just not my favorite to do. But if you were playing in an evil campaign, or you want, as a DM, to put your characters up against a mid-level big bad villain, I could see this Dragonborn fitting that bill easily. Here we have a Dragonborn of Bahamut, or Bahamut, however you say it. I always said Bahamut, but I know some people say Bahamut. This looks like a gold dragon, Dragonborn. He's got silvery wings. Could they be arcane wings or magic items? Proudly bearing the emblem of Bahamut, or Bahamut, on his shield. Although he's a lefty. Can't trust left-handed people, right? They're sinister. Here we have a Draconian. Now, this is a Draconian foot soldier. Now, there are different types of Draconians. There are in the Dragonlance world of Krynn. So I find it interesting that they didn't give them the names. Maybe they just wanted to make it more neutral, you know, so they could be used in all settings. I mean, you could anyway. And it's interesting design choice that Wizards came up with. I mean, it doesn't look like the standard Draconian, but you know something? I didn't have any Draconians, so I'm really happy that they're making them, and I think it's still a really cool mini. Look at this. Imagine having a bunch of these, serving an evil dragon lord. What great minions to be used for the big bad evil genius in your campaign. But speaking of Draconians, here we have a Draconian Dreadnought. That's pretty powerful. Look at this. I say would be your, 10th, 11th, 12th level big bad villain, the general of an army. Maybe this was the commander of his forces. The forces were made up of these, but as they were dispatched, now the heroes need to address the big bad, but this big bad serves a higher power yet. This way you could make an extended campaign, but this is a really cool mini. Look at that. He's got a tail end you don't want to be hit by. And you just know he wields those two weapons effectively. I could see some players losing their characters' lives. This is a gem stalker. It's like some sort of unholy union between a dragon and something. I only flipped through my Fizbans. I haven't looked in great detail. But this is a really awesome miniature. What a great monster. Maybe the general back there, right? Look at him. Maybe the general back there uses this creature to guard its hoard. Or maybe the general has a bunch of slaves working the mines to get gems, and this is the overlord of the slave pit. See, I don't even know what these things are for, but I see these incredible miniatures and I get inspired. And I think they'll inspire you too. It is on a huge base. Now you see that little circle in there, that's because it can also represent it's meant to be a large, but they put it on a huge base, but I would just rather use it as a huge monster. That's just me. Now the same with the Gem Stalker, you can see the inner circle represents a large because this is a young crystal dragon. And let's take a look at its face. Wow, this thing is really cool. I'm not familiar with these, but it doesn't even matter. what I'm familiar with, you can use these miniatures and devise monsters to your liking to fit how you feel about the way they look. Maybe this is a glass golem or a crystal golem in the shape of a dragon. Maybe it's a dragon that was formed after a great red dragon breathed upon, heroes, and the sand like turned to glass, but like it was infused with draconic magic, and this rose up perhaps as an ally. Who knows? This is a Sapphire Dragon. This is a rather large mini. Again, this is a young Sapphire Dragon. But what's cool about those inner rings is that you could use it as a young Sapphire Dragon that's large, right? I mean, because the heroes could just stand on that base. But then it could also be an adult one, so then it goes up a size category larger. That's pretty versatile. And like I often say, I love versatility in the game. This is a really cool mini. Look at, do you see the sparkles on it? Like it's glinting in the light of the hero's torches, or perhaps it's just got magical light rippling along its body. Here's the young Moonstone Dragon. Look at the detail on it with all those scales. How incredible that is. This mini, and look at the translucent wings. I have an unfinished campaign that my players want to get back to at some point where they are on the moon. Perhaps this would be a great thing to introduce when I finally finish up that campaign. But it's a really cool looking dragon, the Moonstone Dragon. Again, it is a young Moonstone Dragon, but because of the size of the base and the inner circle, I think it is great to use as young or adult. The Emerald Dragon Wormling. You could use it as that, but I see it could also just be a conjuration of a wizard where his arcane power coalesces in the shape of a dragon and serves him. Let me move it to an area where it's not against the green so you can really see. I love the translucent dragons in this series. This one looks very cool. And if you like dragons, this the Fizban's Treasury of Dragons is the set for you. Although you do get some things that aren't dragons, but I'm sure it's somehow related. If I would actually take the time to read the book, this is a metallic Peacekeeper. To me, this looks like some sort of new design for a Warforge. If you like Eberron, or maybe it's an elvish construct. I'm not sure what it is, but I see lots of possibilities for this mini and what it could be used for. Look how cool. Like it's got the translucent parts, but that's supporting this metallic frame. Maybe it's some sort of necromantic spirit that's held together by this arcane infused armor to give it form. Whatever it is, or whatever you want it to be, I mean, you could find a lot of use out of this mini, I think. Here is an Amethyst Dragonborn. Be great for a player character, don't you think? A paladin or a fighter. Eldritch Knight, perhaps. You can learn more about these creatures, I imagine, by looking through the book. I'm going to get to it one of these days, I promise. What in the world is a dragon blood ooze? Well, here's what it looks like. And I see like scales in the detail. It looks like a draconic head up here and tail. Whether you're using it as a dragon blood ooze or just some sort of ooze or some sort of undead ichor. This looks like it's going to be a versatile piece. I probably should read the book and find out what it is. But maybe I like my idea better. That's the cool thing about a lot of these minis and the minis that WizKids makes is that you can use them for what they are intended or repurpose them and reimagine them to your heart's content. Hands down, my favorite miniature out of the entire Fizban's Treasury of Dragons series, the Mimic Golem. I mean, who doesn't like a great mimic? But then a treasure hoard, and of course, treasure hoards are very much associated with dragons, so why not have a mimic treasure hoard that guards the treasure? Because your players, if they're like mine, their eyes light up and they run to the gleam of gold. With Spelljammer, you're definitely going to want this mini. It is an Elder Brain Dragon. This thing is massive and disgusting. This top comes off. I mean, that looks pretty good, but then this makes it look glistening. So this creature is an Elder Brain, and when a dead dragon is put into the pool of an Elder Brain, it can latch on and then use the dragon as a puppet. And this looks terrifying. What a wicked monster. What if this was the ultimate big bad evil genius that its general served, who was served also by his field commander, who commanded a horde of Draconians. And you can see how your players would work their way up to finally face the big bad evil genius behind all of the wickedness in the campaign. Now, that's pretty good, I think. But now I've given that plot away. So my players, I'll have to come up with something different. But I think this one is excellent. It's disgusting and terrifying and perfect for an end battle in your heroic campaign. We come to the Draco Hydra. You can see back there, there's the Draco Hydra, and here it is close up. And this is considered a huge mini, but again, you could also use it as gargantuan. And you'll notice this thing has 6 heads. It is the unholy union of a Hydra and evil dragons. It's a magical creation of some insane wizard, no doubt. And you can find this in Fizban's Treasury of Dragons. Look at the tail. Look at the detail, the muscles. I love the base that it's on, so it's flying in the air. What's great about this creature when you're throwing against your players, and your players are probably very prepared. Oh, maybe they've taken lightning resistance or resistance to fire, possibly cold, maybe poison. Maybe they're a dwarf and they have resistance against poison. But The great thing about this monster is it gets to choose which breath weapon it uses. And that makes it an extremely deadly foe. I think the mini is really fantastic. I love the paint job. And look at the detail. The veins in the wings. Just lots of detail. This mini is really fabulous. So there you have it, Fizban's Treasury of Dragons by WizKids. Coming out soon. You can pre-order at dndmini.com. I'll have that link below, or you can just wait and pick it up at your favorite brick and mortar store and support them. But either way, you're going to be really interested in having these. There's some tremendous minis that you can use in a variety of situations over and over again. I think it's just another home run by WizKids. If you like what you see, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram for some extra XP.